Welcome to Boxcars, Warmachine and Hordes supplementary podcast for War Room PL YouTube channel.
So, welcome to Boxcars. It's 20 episode 20.
Hurrah!
Hooray! We managed.
Still amazed.
Yes, we managed.
Almost a year, because I think we started around January. Is it right?
I don't know.
I think so. I remember it was snow outside, because I'm always sitting in my guest room and I was always looking at the window and there was the snow. So yeah, nice.
All right. I'm Marcin. I'm playing Signor, and I played one game of Minions.
And I'm Rafał, and I play Krix, and I wanted to play Minions, but with the new Team Forces, I don't want to play Minions, I will play Krix.
Why to change winning horse during the race?
Yeah, so don't worry, the Negra will get nerfed.
I know, but Krix players do not want to acknowledge that. But don't worry, I did not want to acknowledge that Haley too will get nerfed. So that's the way of how PP works. If something is above the curve too long and too much, it gets adjusted.
Not nerfed, adjusted.
Yeah, that's why when I work at a big company, they called when you went to talk about your salary, it was called salary adjustment. So.
Yeah, that's lovely. Salary adjustment.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. So and the one game I played with Minions, it wasn't terrible actually. Rask is pretty good caster.
Yeah.
It turns out, yes. So probably he will get adjusted as well at some point.
Keep the salt flowing.
Well, I think with 30% win percentage on WTC, Minions are not any near of any nerfs.
Yeah, I don't think so too.
I think with the CID currently going on for Gator stuff, there is only buffing coming. But they have to watch out, because there is a fine line between buff and broken stuff. So
yeah, I really wonder about the CID. What they have to do to make Godzilla playable?
I don't know. Armor 20 maybe. There's only one.
They don't have any armor buffs. I think Helga has only, but cannot play it. Milo can have armor buff in Minions, yeah?
Yes, Helga has all the peak caster have armor buff, but no Gator. only Malok has only feet, and the spell is only for the current iteration is only for warrior models. So that Colossal will die a lot before he does anything. When he gets into melee, he will do a lot, but will he do more than 2 Rustlers? I don't think so. I mean,
he gets the spray.
Yeah, the spray is nice, at least for now. The blind is very good, but yeah.
But he has to charge from the downtown up to get anything workable. Because if he's charged by everything, he will die.
I mean,
he should get? Yeah.
People are prepared to kill colossals that have armor 22 or 23.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
It should get unyielding. It should get 20 armor standard and unyielding, I think, like Gators have.
You mean so it will in melee it will get +2, but then everybody will get out of melee with him, sacrifice itself, and then you shoot it anyway.
I know that you are playing Signal, but not everybody has that amount of shooting that Signal has. Okay.
I know. Yeah, unyielding would put it at 21. Yeah, maybe that would be a solution.
I think, no, it should be base 20 and with an yielding 22.
Okay.
Then it will be cool.
Oh, then it will be pretty good. And then it could cost even 39 probably, as other good consoles. Yeah. So, but let's go on a bit
to
the subject. We went to WTC, and WTC is over, and now we still are playing Warmachine. So it was it wasn't so bad. Congratulations to the victors of WTC. It's Germany team. They won the
Lorelei.
Yeah, Lorelei. They won the whole event. And number 2 is Norway Munin, and number 3 is France Asterix. So.
And by the way, Norway Munin, we gave 2 regards. One for Sverre that we know, and the other to the Polish guy that was playing on Norway Munin.
Yeah. Thumbs up. And Poland was 5th, and. We can read all the top 10. So the 4th place was another France team, and then 5th was Poland, and 6 and 7 are Canada teams, and 8th place England Lions, 9th place Italy, and 10th place second team from Norway. So Norway pretty strong, France pretty strong, meta Canada. It's all to have both teams in top 10 is pretty interesting. Although I think that the top 7, these are the teams that have 5 wins, and then 8, 9, 10, these are the teams that have higher sauce and 4 wins.
I think that we should give a shout out to the Norway, because I think they reached, or they achieved the biggest, in the places before comparing to any year. Yeah. So Jarle, good job, and Sverre, good job.
Yeah, I think they worked very hard for that. So congratulations, guys, to you too. Yes, getting 2nd place on WTC is a pretty big achievement.
I think so too.
All right. So next year we have WTC in Poland, in Warsaw, 800 meters from airport. So nobody will be complaining about the travel arrangements.
Yeah. From the insider information, we know that it will be in hotel, and it will be a kind of convention hotel, so big with all the proper necessities, and it will have also proper kitchen and everything connected with the hotel by the airport. So it should be fine, and get ready for a lot of drinking. That's a must. In Polish WTC.
Start training, but I think there was drinking was not missing on Belgian WTC from what I saw.
Yeah, but the point of the main point will go from beer to vodka. Oh. So it will be maybe a little bit more impactful than the beer one. WTC beer one, and now it will be vodka one. Come on, vodka for €5, okay?
I think there was a lot of partying around from what I saw, but do you think that any from the top teams was partying?
Canada a little, I think. I saw some guys from Canada, and I think maybe some people from France also on the photos.
I think
and England for sure. England for sure.
Okay, but which team? Because they had 3. But I think that the top teams, the ones that had the mindset to fight for the win or for the top places, they were focused. Yeah, they were focused on playing, not partying. They probably drank a couple of beers and went to have 8 hours sleep. That's my probable observation.
This is the way you win the games, and we know that very well.
Yes.
From the previous life.
Yes, exactly. So we recorded a lot of games. I think the target was to get all 30 games recorded. And thanks to Chris and Quentin for great commentary. And also there was a couple of videos had lost their voice because of the equipment failures, and I've got community members agreeing to comment on those games, so they will be uploaded as well with the commentary. So thanks guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, and well, I think I have reached my equipment limitations because few videos were damaged. The setup with laptops is maybe not the optimal. It's great to record at home, but if you go to the tournament and put that equipment on the table there, there's enough that somebody just puts something next to your laptop and pushes one cable or something, and then the video will stop or break, and that's the problem with that setup. If I'm not constantly there and I was playing, so it's only thanks to Chris and Quentin that the games were recorded, because they were pressing the buttons, but they are not. They don't know my equipment, so they didn't notice if some or maybe they noticed it later when something did not record or something popped up and some information went in. So we lost couple of videos, but
but still,
we cannot do anything.
A lot.
Yeah, but also I'm not happy with some of them because. When I record at home, I've got a lot of light, and in this setup the light is most important because it limits the quality of video. And you know that the hotel rooms, also the games were recorded, it was pretty dark, so we brought our lamps, but this was just bare minimum. So the cameras that were not so advanced, they could not keep up with the low light. So some of the games are in poor quality recorded. So I'm not happy with that. Some of the games I've got, because I was buying those cameras over time. So the first ones were not so high-tech. The newest ones are dealing with low light pretty well. So there is a different level of quality of recording, although every table was lighted with a lamp. So if we had like 4 lamps per table, then probably each game would be HD. But because it was strong. I think we can make sure that when we will be recording at Warsaw, in Warsaw, it will be better because we will prepare better. I think, we have a year to do it. Yeah. I'm already thinking to change the setup for instead of computer at each table, to set a camcorder, a camera that will record. And also put the signal back to the hardware equipment that will allow us to have also commentating on all 5 tables at once. This way.
And I did a check, and I am able to record from 2 cameras at one. At one, I can launch 2 copies of OBS and record from 2 cameras.
OBS is another thing. I'm really unhappy with OBS because it's creating more and more problems on Windows machines. And I lost a lot of videos before as well, and sometimes there's voice problems with OBS. I'm thinking about switching the recording software to XSplit. It's got great reviews. It's a paid software, but at least I tried it out for now just to look at it, and it looks a bit more reliable. There was a couple of issues also on the commentating computer that I never had before. We could not, when we switched to HD, camera, each time the recording was freezing, and so the guys had to switch from HD to a lower. And it never happened before, and it just was too much for me.
I think it can be connected with the capacity of the computer and ability to do everything at once.
Yeah, but the commentating laptop he was only connected to one game, so nothing that I haven't done before. Well, I don't know. Well, we'll see.
We will upgrade our equipment in the future.
Yes,
we can assure you that.
I mean, it was tested, but it was tested in different
environment.
In different environment, exactly. So the issues that popped up were also there was a bit little place in between the tables. I tried to optimize it, but I could only do so much. So the laptops that were recording, they were a bit in the way probably of the players, so they could easily bump something, and then the recording could stop, or there'd be some issues there. But well, nothing we can do now. We'll think about it in the future. One thing I want to announce also, just before we go on with WTC talk, just people, get yourself on Vassal. I need some opponents. It's
boring.
Just download Vassal, and you can get in. It's free, and you can play games there with people from all over the place, all over the world, at any time in in a day. I actually have a friend that I'm playing on in the mornings. He's from Australia, and there's European time evenings. There are a lot of people usually, maybe not a lot of, but a couple of people usually. And when I was on Sunday, so yesterday on Vassal, I'm going in, and there is 5 games and a few people watching those games, and I managed to find another opponent. So there was 6 games going at the same time. So pretty nice, and I hope there will be more people playing on Vassal, so I can have some quality games in. And I can give you quality games as well.
And the second thing is, build your own meta.
Yes. That's the option that you can open your shop and.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
so let's go to the So the hotel was cool, very, very big. I mean, extremely big. The rooms were very nice. They were like suites. So you've got 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms and a kitchen that was pretty big. I think they were intended to be without the breakfast and dinners and things like that, because you could cook by yourself, because the kitchen was fully equipped with everything for the cooking.
Looking from when we were living, there were a lot of old people there, rentiers, or how do they call them? So I think that's the target for that venue in general. But when we came, there were no old people there. So we traveled on Friday with the car, around 10 hours drive. I drove with Petero, and you drove with the rest of the guys, right?
Yep, and it was a long ride.
It was, but yeah. So we came. I wasn't so much tired, actually.
Yeah, the way there was okay.
Yeah, the going back was worse, right? Yeah. So if we talk about the food on WTC, the breakfast were it could be better. I don't want to be negative, but the breakfast could be better if then the lunches, and then evening meal.
Dinners were okay.
Dinners, they were okay. Yeah. And I didn't even try the first day on Friday evening. The dinner was served from food trucks, and we were setting up the equipment, and we were just checking out. They are still like 1 hour line waiting for the food, so we skipped. We ate bananas. So instead.
Yeah.
Then we, because I haven't been playing for a while, so we have played a game on Friday evening, just to warm up a bit.
Yeah, to remember the moves.
Yeah, exactly. Just get those models on the table, shove them around, and then pack them back.
Yeah, we played very short. 3 turns maybe or something like that.
Mm.
With a lot of interruptions from other people.
Yeah, there was. But when we are on the tables, so the tables were very, very good looking. It was all the flat terrains. There were not a single 3D terrain anywhere, but they were specially printed for WTC, the mats and the terrains. So they were all thematic, and they were looking very good. They were presenting themselves very good. Some people were complaining that the zones and the terrains are not very well visible because it was all the same theme. So if you had a winter mat, then you had winter zones and winter everything. But actually, there was
not enough contrast. But I didn't encounter that.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. I mean, if you were looking from the side on the video, that might be the case. But for the player standing just in front of the table, that wasn't a problem. I mean, at least I did not have that problem. The terrains were really big, some of them at least, and I mean, well, it happens. I don't enjoy it because I play a faction that doesn't have so much Pathfinder, so.
Yeah, the tables, the terrain, it was a little bit, the terrains were too big. A little bit too big, 1 inch maybe everyone, or most of them.
I mean, not all of them, but there were a table where you had like 2 big woods or 2 big houses that were like 8-10 inches long. And
big wood and big cloud wall, for example, or cloud or something.
But on the other hand, they were very impactful, and that is why we'll talk about it after we talk about our first game, right? That is why maybe choosing terrains after the roll was a better choice all over, because
then they're doing all the prepares. But we can talk about that during our games.
All right, so the venue had split us in many different rooms, so you had to walk a bit between each game, but it wasn't so terrible. It was pretty good marked. So
and it was not a problem with the fresh air because it was then the weather was very nice, so we could the windows were open and the doors were open, so it was really only the first day at the beginning. It was a little bit smelly, but then it was really, really nice. No problem. And there is no complaint there. And there was a separate room for just for streaming, so it was easier to manage the equipment and to have an eye on that.
And the noise. I mean, actually, usually when I'm recording at a large event, the voice on recordings is pretty bad because the camera picks up a lot of side noise. It was pretty noisy anyway in the room, but it was nothing to compare like there is 50 people in the room instead of like 20, right? So it was the recordings that have voice should be pretty decent to listen to. Yeah. So. Have you noticed that the top 10 doesn't have any USA?
I mean, we talked about that a little bit, and because it was worse, I think, than the last year for the USA, but I don't think because we had a chance to play against the US team on the last game, and it was a really cool game without any issue at all. But we didn't notice that it was easy game from us, and no, it was rather hard. So I don't think it's a quality of the players, but rather it's several factors. So
the team selection, maybe the nation or the faction selection for the teams. The
distance and who can pay for the for the trip to Europe. It's also very expensive.
Yes, surprisingly.
So it's not so
example,
easy.
A big name like JVM did not apply for. I don't know if he applied, but he did not come to WTC. So
I don't think that, because a lot of European players and people are talking that your American meta is worse because they are not placing high in WTC and things like that. But I don't really think it's the case. It's more. It's maybe a little bit like Trevor on Chain Attack said, that maybe they are not, it's not that important for them than their local events. We have to remember that from the European point of view, WTC is the top of the Warmachine in Europe, okay? And even in the world, because, of course, if it's in Europe, then it's the most important one, also for the world.
Yes.
But for Americans, they have a lot of conventions that are with the full support of Predator Press. So it's totally different point of view for them. So, yeah.
I mean, I was also thinking that they've had a lot of big names and very good players spread out over 3 teams. I know that their selection process is different than in Poland, or I don't know how other countries deal with it. But Poland tries to put the top 5 players into the first team. Yeah. And I think that any or most of the countries tries to do it as well. And I think, so. I don't know if I recall correctly, but in USA, the one team that won one of the team tournaments, that was the whole team. Created by winning.
From the ATC, American Team Championship.
Yes. So by winning the ATC, you get one team selected. But maybe choosing 2 best players from that team to let's say the top team, and then choosing another 3 players, that would be that would maybe create a stronger team, because there were a bunch of very, very good players spread out, and I don't know. That's just a thought that occurred to me. But
observation.
Observation. So
so we can talk now a little.
Yeah. We can talk about our games, because that's all about the general thoughts about the.
So what we encountered, we played the first game against German Wolpertinger. The guys from Berlin, I think.
Easy name.
Yeah, but the guys from Berlin, because we know Leif, and we know, I think, also, I think Moritz was, because we visited the Berlin guys.
We went to Goblin Crown.
Gober Crown, yeah. And it was not a great event for the Polish representation.
I was 5th, so I was happy. I had 5 wins, 1 loss, and I only lost to
the winner, I think.
No, he placed 2nd, but he was from a top Germany team.
Okay, so we played against German team Wolpertinger.
Yeah.
And I think we won the roll-off, and we decided to make the pairings, right?
Yes, which was wrong, and we realized this right after the first battle.
Pairing, yeah. Because it seems that with the amount of terrain on the tables, it was more important to choose the tables correctly, because you could have chosen all 5th, then lose 1 pairing, because it was 3 to 2 pairings, and all the 5 tables. So in the worst case scenario, we got 2 pairings and 5 tables. Yeah. And it seemed that it was more important than 3 pairings and no tables.
Yeah, as we spoke before, the terrains were very impactful. So our pairs went as we thought they will go, pretty good, but the terrain was screwing us over.
But when we talked later on about this matchup, the first game especially, it seemed that we were not prepared. I mean, that we were not prepared for the. I mean, we have seen their list, and we thought that we know how to play them, but in reality, we didn't.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my personal matchup, I was playing versus Ostrom with Nemo 3, and I was always thought I can deal with Nemo 3 mercenaries, no problem. And it turns out I can't. I mean, I can, I could, if I could shoot. But he had 2 battle engines that rolled crit stagger each round without even boosting. So 13% chance on a roll. And okay, he has 2 shots, but still it's not that high a chance. So he crit staggered my both battle engines 2 turns in a row, and on third turn, one of them was dead, so without shooting for whole game, and the second one managed to shoot something once. So that killed that game for me, but I managed to kill a lot of dwarves at least, so I was happy about it. But I lost some scenario at the end. Yeah, he was just cleaning the zone and scoring slowly, and I could not stop it. I stopped him in 2 zones with my Centurion, but third zone I could not stop him from cleaning it round after round. So that was my matchup, and I thought I can deal with those from no problem.
Yeah, I played against Coven against Tiberius too. I played that before, and Coven likes to play against Protectorate, and I won on scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but our team in total, we had 4 losses, 1 win, so no, you were only one that won.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I was pretty down on myself because I thought I had this and I hadn't. But then we faced Russia Matryoshka, and they were, I think, less prepared than we are for that event.
Yeah. But they were very nice people and great team, so it was very, very nice game, especially if you win 5-0, so you'll feel even better about after this that kind of matchup.
Yes.
You played against Wormwood, right?
Yeah, I played against Wormwood, against girl, I don't remember her name. Sorry.
Natalia.
Natalia. Okay. Against Natalia, I think she didn't know exactly what Nemo does, just in general. There was a language barrier because she didn't speak great English. So I tried to explain her a couple of times, but in the end I gave up because I could not. She could not get me anyway. So I won that on scenario because she kept pretty far back, being afraid of assassination attempts, etc. So I didn't even kill a lot of stuff. I just cleared the zones 2 turns in a row and scored points and won on scenario. So that was my game.
I played against Scorn. That should be a uphill battle for crits because they have. I played against Hex Series 1 with double. It was Winds of Death with a lot of shooting and double animatraxes. So and animatraxes are really scary. They have threat range of 13 inches. They have amazing amount of attacks, up to 6 melee and 4 shooting, so 10 attacks from 1 animatrax. And Hex Series 1 has an RFP feat that removes easily my Bane Warriors, and this is what he did exactly. Removed like 75% of one of my units of Bane Warriors. But still, Bane did what Bane do. So if you have large base and you stuck with the Banes, then you die. And it was exactly what happened. So a lot of he killed some of my Banes of the infantry. I kept cavalry back, and then I just charged in and killed both animatraxes and a lot of infantry and one was die. And it will be a recurring theme during this WTC for me.
Mm. recurring team, Scorn. Just don't pair me against Scorn. Okay.
I told them. I told them that I don't want to play against Ouroboros and Scorn because they have a lot of RFP potential, and so I played 3 games against Scorn out of 6. Okay, really cool. Yeah. Okay, so third round was against Austria Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
And it was the captain, I think, was Martin Hornaszek, that we know from the tournament in Czech Republic. And there were guys from Austria that are also visiting Poland from time to time. They were, I think, second and third on the Polish team championship this year, if I remember correctly. Because we played against them. I mean, my team played and lost. So, and I played against, I think I played against Daniel, and I think I lost to him, but you won with him, so it was revenge. So you played the most interesting game of all. Striker 1 mirror match.
Yeah, that was painful. But we knew it would be painful. So
but you had better list. And you won because of that mainly, I think.
I had a bit better list, and he won the roll-off, and he chose to go first. And I don't know if that was the right thing to do. There was a building in the middle that prevented our colossals to group up, so we could not go for killing the opposing colossal with 2 of our colossals.
But it was kind of Pacific Rim. 4 colossals fighting each other.
So in my list, he had Stone Strider. So his Stone Strider could almost do nothing against my list.
One thing we should tell. You can check our list on the WTC website. Marcin had Nemo 3 and Striker 1, and I had Coven and then the one Ghost, just for the information. But the details you can get on the website.
Yes, exactly. And so the 4 colossals were parked opposing each other and were shooting at each other and at objective. So we were scoring. I was scoring with my pods and my solos. He's done the same. So I think we were around 6. We were 5-5 or something like this. And he made his move and feed first. So he moved in with his colossals and battle engine, and I knew that I maybe made a mistake, that I should have tried to kill the battle engine earlier instead of shooting his colossal, but it was too late for that. So when he fitted, so I tried to take out the battle engine and failed. He left on 4 boxes, and my other colossal ran to contest his flag, and my striker fitted. So I fitted second, and it's usually better for the player in this matchup to fit second. So round 7, we knew it will be 5-5 with large points. So the player who killed more of opponent's army would win. So I had 1 round his colossal, and my 2 colossals managed to kill one of his, and I won on small points, on the army points killed. Yeah. So that was the game. So 6 rounds of standing in the zone on the opposing sides, and
punching each other
and shooting each other, and then 1 round or 2 rounds of running around and punching. So, and then I think we had 2 minutes each on the clock. So it was a very long, a very boring game. It was pretty interesting at the end.
I played against Coven again, against Scorn again, and this time it was Rushed. Also Windows of Death, also 2 animatrixes, also 2 units of shooters, and some beasts like shamans that can shoot without ignoring line of sight, so ignoring my feet. And I think the first strike beast, I don't remember, Rider, I think it's a Cyclops Rider. And this game went similarly. I got caught by the surprise because I blinded one of his animatrixes, and I thought that I am on the top of the world. and then he solo gave the Matrax either side, and my blank faded, and I was, I didn't know that. Good tech. Yeah, you learn all the time. But still, I had a little bit luck because I charged with my one rider, Animatrax, and with some bangs, and he was still alive after all my melee, and I managed to put the last shot into his Animatrax from my Desecrator and killed that with he had 7 boxes, and I managed to put 7 boxes into him. And that break the scenario for me because I started to score. And I won on scenario again, killing 1 Animatrax and some models. Most of my games involved like losing 5 or 10 points and winning on the scenario, if I won, of course. So they were pretty, maybe not so bloody, but definitely I tried to jam as hard as possible.
I used to do that when I played Halo 2.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
You know, Chris does it better. Okay. We lost as a team. We lost 2-3 because we only were the 2 that won. Our guys sadly didn't manage to win. Our colleague Piotr had a little bit of tough luck played against Martin because Martin managed to roll a lot of taps for his cats that, according to our test in Poland, the Vlad 2 Rocket List should kill the cats without any problem. But if you roll like God, then doesn't matter what you test in your country, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so the 4th game.
So that was day 1. So
day 1, yeah. We were 1-2.
Yes.
So it was not great.
Exactly. But then we are in a fun bracket, so we
got the Switzerland cheese team. And one of our players that got the easiest matchup was also the most tired one. Yeah. He was really tired because he
delivered to our room at 3:00. So
he parted all night long. So, but the matchups were we chose the tables and we had a good matchups. And we won 4-1, so only the tired person, Piotr, that's regards. Only the Piotr, Petero lost his matchup and we won the rest. And I was playing Skoven against, go figure, Scorn. This time it was Hexeris 2, so the upgrade from Hexeris 1. He has Black Spot and Animatrax managed to kill like 8 guys in one activation because Black Spot means that every time you kill something, you get additional attack. And I couldn't roll my taps, so he killed like 6 Banes, my battle engine, and something more with 1 activation Animatrax. But still, it was the same. I have charged the cavalry into the Animatrax. He killed 1 or 2, I don't remember, and 1 was scenario. So that was my game. And yours?
Yeah, I played against Apsilonia too.
Yeah.
You had
Schroeder Kindergarten.
Yes, you had your time with Scorn, and I just began my day of Legion. And
because you played 3 times.
Yes.
Legion.
Yeah, the second day was Legion only. So the first game of that day for me was Apsilonia 2 with 13 shredders, I think. And she had some heavy beasts also, Proteus and something. But so he, I think I started there. So I took positions, ran everything up, and he pushed his models into my range of feet, and I fitted. I killed like
everything.
8 shredders. And something, and a couple of his solos, and pushed my Leathermore into contesting of the flag. So she would just be a problem for him and stop his advance a bit. So I could kill off the rest of what stayed there, but he wanted to use Apsilonia to kill Leathermore and trigger his what's it called? Pack Hunter, I think. Yeah, Pack Hunter. And then feed and get his beasts like crazy fast, etc. But he had some series of poor rolls, and he managed to only unhorse Leathermore, and he burned through all of his furies. So Apsilonia stayed on 0 camp and retreated, and rest of his staff did not do anything. So I think I only cleared a zone and scored and won a scenario. That was I didn't want to go even for assassination because it was I said easy win with scoring. He dropped the scenario the moment he failed to kill up. I think he lost his will to fight on. I mean that would be pretty tripping not to kill with Apsilonia a simple solo, right? Although people underestimate Leathermore, she is not so easy to kill with 15 boxes total, so and pretty high defense for a solo. So that was my game.
Okay. Then we were 2-2 and we were playing the 5th game. We played against Belgium Princession. This time we also won, so we were at 3-2 after this round. I played Coven against Kador. I played that before, and it was Kador heavy list, so Blood 1 with a lot of Marauders and some artillery and some infantry with rockets. And if you apply a lot of Banes to Jacks, they die. And this is what happened. So I won a scenario and I killed a lot this turn. I killed 6 or 5 Jacks, I think, and some infantry. So yeah, Kriegs likes to fight the Jacks and Colossals even more.
Yeah, so my game was second game of the day against Legion. So Fianna 2 this time. And this is a tricky matchup for Legion because it's pretty difficult for Nemo if he does not start. But I started, I took positions, so the Legion player has to make a decision. He either goes in and feeds, and I either then retreat or I feed and use my spark node, so to say, my own guys to shoot them in the back and use only electrolytes to kill his stuff, or I retreat and just make some pot shots and don't do anything else. And and then kill him next round. And he decided not to feed, just to get into cover and concealment and weather my feed turn. And he didn't weather it he didn't weather it well because I killed 5 his heavies on my feed and a sorceress. So after my feed turn, he was left with 1 heavy and 1 sorceress and a couple of solos, and he just tried to stop my scenario win and didn't manage. And I think Fianna herself tried to kill Leathermore and she failed. So that's an ongoing thing with Leathermore. She's tough to kill. Yeah, and I won. So
yeah. So to make a long story short, the rest only Peter lost because he had we couldn't have chosen the table, so he get the wrong table with his Latin rockets and couldn't kill Syria, and the rest of the team won. So it was 4-1, and we came to the 6th round. We should have been playing against Hungary, but it seems that 2 USA teams were paired with each other. So they swapped, and we get the USA blue team, so the top USA team, and the Hungary played the other USA team. So we had the last game against quality opponents from the USA. I was playing against Trevor Attridge, known by the nickname Trevi the Great, and its famous signal player. played Kane 3 against my Coven, of course. So I played all my 6 games with Coven because I like Coven a lot, and I don't like Ghost Fleet anymore. I played quite a lot of games with Ghost Fleet, but it's quite boring to play, and Coven is great comparing to Ghost Fleet at least. So we have played this matchup before, and it was okay matchup for Coven, and I was pretty confident that I can win it. With Trevi feeded quite early to take down my battle engine. So with his feet, he took down my battle engine. It was into my feet, but still, with all the shooting and calamity and things like that, it was not a problem to get the battle engine down. But I cleared the zone and I started scoring. And then the things were looking quite good. I managed to jam and to damage his jacks, and after some fighting, he had like 4 or 5 jacks left, and I was 4-1 to scenario, so or 4-0, I think, and then it was 4-1, so I just needed 2 points. I could have easily scored my flag, and I did it with my Tartarus, but I didn't manage to clear one zone. It was 100 left standing with very few boxes, and I had little luck with hitting hitting and damaging with cavalry, and I was hitting like +3 or something, or +2, something like that. But I rolled very poorly on damage, and I couldn't kill him. And then I was very low on time, and he started to score with his Kane unit because he cleared the other zone in the meantime. So I knew that my only chance was to assassinate Kane. He was camping, I think, 2, and I had 3 or 2 boosted Stygian Abysses. First one managed to crit and lower the defense of Kane, so there was no problem with hitting. I hit 3 times, but I rolled really poorly on damage, like 3 once and 5 second time, so there was no chance for me to win by assassination, and I conceded because I know that I would lose on the clock anyway. So it was really, really good game. Trevi was great opponent, no issue at all during all the time, and I think the best and the funniest game because we laughed a lot during the game. So, and as I know that he is quitting Warmachine, he quitted Warmachine already. I hope that he had the last game, and it was a great game for him. So he won. So, and it was really a lot of laughing. So I think it was pretty cool. And so I lost my first game, still 5-1 with Coven. It's not bad. So I was really happy. I improved comparing to last year when I was 4-2.
Yeah.
Achievement. I achieved what I wanted.
Achieved better, managed better. Yeah, I played against Brian Marino, who is one of the best players of Legion that I know.
In USA.
Yeah, in USA or.
We were playing against famous people.
Yes, so we become famous as well. Anyway, I was doing well on attrition with Nemo. I started and everything went well.
Yeah.
But then I think I was pretty tired. I actually recorded this game so you can watch it a bit in detail with pictures I took during the game. I counted the mistakes that I made, and they all summed up to one big mistake in the end. But attrition-wise, he was left with 1 heavy, and he's half of his caster, so to say, because I killed Rias, and he managed to assassinate me. The one thing that I was the whole tournament very aware of, not to get Nemo killed, because if Nemo dies, then I lost, and this is the most often.
This is the game of Warmachine.
Yeah, this is the game of
Warmachine. If you lose the Warcaster,
So I always camped 5 or 4 maybe with Nemo, and this so he was always far back. This time he was always also far back, but it wasn't far back enough for Legion. So with the one War Beast and the trick of charge and feedback Rias, he managed to get in range of Nemo. And it was because I forgot how the clouds work, because I never played with the cloud 10 by 8 inches big. So
no. Excuses.
yeah, the truth is I counted all mistakes that I've done, and I should have at least avoided a couple of them, but the worst mistake I made was staying before the feet of twins, staying within 14 inches or within 18 inches, within 14 inches with a model that they can charge, and within 18 inches with my caster. So don't do that, kids. Stay out of 18 inches of Siren or Rias.
Yeah,
if you don't want to get assassinated.
You should get, free Warcrafters like I have. So even if you lose one, you still win. You can win.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not easy, but it's manageable. Our team, no, it's clicks. Our team lost 2-3, so it was, if one of us could have won, and there was a chance for this both of our games, we could have won with USA, and we will be famous, but we lost, so we are less famous now. And due to the very low SOS that we had, we were placed again, I think 36, and it was worse than last year. My team had 29, I think, or 24, I don't remember. But as you know, SOS is something that due to the system of the Warmachine, it's not easy to manage.
No, you cannot do anything about the SOS. Yeah.
So even if we could have won the last game, we will be still the last of the fourth game rounds winner, and we will be like 26 or 25, I think. So it was not a big difference, but overall, I think we were pretty happy. The team did great. Everybody tried their best. We're a little bit unprepared for the meta that we encountered, and that was, I think, the major thing. And we underestimated the tables in the first round, and we lost the round because of that. But, mainly it was the list thing, I think. The best prepared lists were mine. I can tell that really, we could have seen it because it was the biggest difference. And the rest of the team were saying to me that, we could have changed one list out of two, for example, to better fit the meta that was present at WTC. Yes. We didn't have a proper Kriegs drops, for example, but we didn't play a lot against Kriegs. I think only two.
Yeah, but if you look at the general statistics of WTC, nobody had a good answer for Kriegs. Not very much. It's like, whatever statistic you open, you probably will see, okay, Kriegs really dominated that, like the 70% win percentage of Kriegs in general. And, there is a list of 13 players that scored 6-0, so had 6 wins, 0 losses. 6 of them played Kriegs, so there is that. Half of undefeated players was Kriegs.
I will interrupt here because I don't think that this result should be people shouldn't overreact to those results, because from the people that I talked during the WTC and other teams, in reality, most of the teams were not prepared to face the Kriegs. A lot of teams took Scorn that didn't have a proper team force yet for the Kriegs. I'm not talking about the team force that are available now, but the wins of that are really not that good into the Kriegs, it seems. And a lot of teams just throw somebody under the Kriegs. So I think it was due to the fact that people were not prepared, because Kriegs is strong, but I think if it would have been, if the WTC would be 6 months later, the percentage win of the Kriegs will be like 58 or something like that. A little bit higher than everybody else, but I don't think it will be 60 or 70%.
But the truth is that from top 10 casters, 7 are Kriegs. And
this is a little bit amazing, because it's not so, they are not that good, okay? There are better casters in different, Coven is great, Danny 1 is great, but Lich 1 or Lich 2, are they really that good?
Yeah, the combination of good units and a bit of
novelty,
gotcha factor, etc. So that, I mean, Crix just smashed that WTC in the face.
Yeah. And opposite is Signal that is really strong, has a good stable of customers and everything else. But people were prepared for Signal. Crix became, with the Dark Host, it was easy to play into the Signal, at least in theory. So I think that
this Signal, I mean, Haley 2 after the nerf is not even in top 20 of best casters. She's probably not even in top 30. So the best Signal caster is 15th. It's Haley 3, and then Nemo 3 is 24. And that were the only two casters listed from Signal. So this means a lot of people were probably prepared to play Haley 2, and then she gets nerfed 1 week before list submission.
Yeah, that was also.
And so that means those that still go with Haley 2 have to learn a new playstyle, change the list, etc., etc. And those that don't want to use nerfed Haley 2, they have to completely create a new list, etc. So I think the low Signal win percentage also was because we were like 5th fraction overall, below 50% of wins, so 47%. So this is, I think, pretty bad.
Yeah, not good. Yeah, not good for Signal. But I think that people should not take
Signal domination is over right now.
Yeah.
Welcome our new overlords, Crix and Grimkin.
Okay. Yeah, but still we will see how it goes in the future. The event was great. We are hoping that we will be able to attend next year as a Polish team, also one of the Polish teams. And yeah, we will talk a little bit with about the WTC later when we think about that and we have a better insight into the thing that happened during the WTC, and we will see how the meta goes. But don't take too much out of the statistics, because I think that due to the Team Force drop, the meta is different now, and
yes,
it will be totally different.
The meta is different, and the Team Force, I had my salters spill salt all over me because I don't even play heavy metal anymore, so I shouldn't bother with that. But it was actually funny to vent a bit about that. Heavy metal got nerfed just after. Yeah, we need some venting. It was all in good spirit. I wasn't spilling how to call it, some bad words or whatever. I'm just having fun with my venting of desperation that heavy metal got nerfed after Haley 2 got nerfed. So Haley 2 got actually double tapped, once in the chest, once in the head. So now
she's lying on the ground with 40% win rate.
Yes, exactly. So she's now lying down, and Nemo, Haley 3, and Striker 2, they are all walking up and bravely marching forward
with the Signal flag.
They will now take over. Haley, go rest, and we are taking over. And then the meta will develop differently now, and we'll see probably a lot of grave diggers, probably a bit of resurgence of Storm Division with back access to Pathfinder now.
Yeah,
and that will happen in every single faction, that some caster gets unlocked because he can get one solo that could synergize as well with
changes the game.
Or a unit and for example, Kader will now have a crit caster with Ayana and Hold, and etc. etc. So many different options now, and everybody will try out the old tactics, new tactics, and new team forces, and that will be fun time now again.
Yeah. A lot of fun now.
Because there was a lot of stagnation just before WTC, right? Everybody was playing.
Last 6 months were playing not much changed. Yeah.
Exactly.
And now I won't be playing Ghost Street anymore for a long time. I am switching to Satixis Riders because they are I just love them, and they are great looking models, great funny team, and they have their own weaknesses, but they have things that my pair was lacking. So magic weapons, for example, and RFP effects. So I love to play against Ghost Street now. I can play Kriegs matchup all the time if I want to with my Satixis Rider list. And there will be a lot because Kriegs has 6 teams forces because they have I think most team forces except the mercs because of the strange ways the models are presented in the Kriegs faction. So they have this living pirates, undead pirates, lady pirates.
Yeah, I know.
Then they have
Signar. VP doesn't love Signar anymore. They only love Kriegs now.
Let the good. Let the salt come
Let the
through.
salt flow.
Yeah, but on the finish note, because I am having a problem with my lovely new headphones, and I'm still amazed that you can hear me because I don't hear one headphone anymore. So we will have to end shortly.
We'll have to finish.
Yeah, but we will be recording new because we are going to ClockCon in November,
Yes.
and we will be streaming and recording for sure. That's one thing. And I'm coming to the European Masters in Czech Republic, Black Oil in Brno in 2 weeks, and I will be also recording, I think, top games from this tournament. So you will have more contact on War Room soon, and so we will be also posting my games that I finally sent to match.
Just make sure if you try to record 2 games at once that you do this before, because I had a lot of issues with on the computer that was recording 2 games. It was the most failures because I don't even want to get into that. But
it doesn't matter.
Some games were crashed video and some games were crashed voice, just because the computer was dealing with 2 different cameras, and they were.
I will go for the safe route, and I will just record the top table. Let's say.
I think recording top table will be good. That's the best solution. All right. So thanks for listening, and we hear you next time.
Yeah, I will talk about the Black Oil tournament in the next episode, I suppose.
Okay. About your win on Black Oil. Great.
Yeah, sold. Bye, guys.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you for listening to Boxcars. I hope you liked it. See you soon.